you see first can say a lot about your personality. Today's fun personality test. Look at this picture and let me know what you see first. Comment it down in the comments, lock it in, and then I'm going to tell you what experts say about you.
What do you see?
You saw the trees first.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new to the channel, man, you guys don't know what we do. We break down scary and creepy videos on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG videos, Facebook, anything weird, usual, and unexplained you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank my supporters, man, who's tapping into the channel, watching the video entirely, hitting that post notification bell, man, and hitting that like button on each and every single video drop. Greatly appreciate the support, man. New month. Let's start off the month strong. Found this video for you guys today, man. Let's do what we do best, seekers. Let's seek the truth.
Interesting facts that will make you think.
Okay.
When people talk about traveling to the past, they worry about radically changing the present by doing something small.
True.
But barely anyone in the present thinks that they can radically change the future by doing something small. The person who invented audio recording probably thought it didn't work right when their voice sounded different. The best part of a cucumber kind of tastes like the worst part of a water balloon. An air conditioning repairman spends all day in buildings with no air conditioning. When it's fixed and finally cold, they leave. Security at every level of an airport is always taken very seriously. Until you get to baggage claim, because then it's just like take whatever bag you want. The amount of people older than you never gets bigger. When we're young, we sneak out of our houses to go to parties. When we're older, we sneak out of parties to go home. Follow for more.
Have you done that?
8 years old when you realized the candy lifesavers are shaped like a lifesaver because if a kid chokes someone, the hole in the middle will save their life because they'll still be able to breathe. I was 10 years old when I realized that the Krusty Krab is a crab trap. Next, after you take off the caps on these Kool-Aid drinks, you can actually flip it around and reclose your drink. Okay, flames don't have shadows. Did you know that Sid from Toy Story 1 is also the garbage man from Toy Story 3? And I was 10 years old when I realized that a Gatorade cap fits perfectly at the bottom of a Gatorade bottle.
Okay, we did learn some mind-blowing facts, man. I didn't even know you could twist those links off the Kool-Aid just... That was a cap. I always used to throw those away. And then we had a Sid 3 freaking cameo in Toy Story 3. The more you know, man. Tap in, man. You're gonna learn some interesting facts with this.
Here are some facts that are guaranteed to make you go, wow.
Talk about it.
Tag some friends so they can also go, wow. This one's a bit mental. If you fully stretch out the DNA of just one of your cells, it'd be about 2 meters long. However, if you stretch all of the DNA from all of your cells out, it would reach twice the diameter of our solar system. There is such thing as a polka-dotted zebra. Since when? Chicago is actually sinking at a very similar rate to Venice. Everyone needs to know this. It's been determined by scientists that 3 seconds is the perfect dunking time for a British biscuit. You're welcome. And 4 seconds if it's an Oreo. Picasso's full name is actually 23 words long. Cool, but why? There's over $1 million worth of hidden treasure buried somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. I'll be right back. It takes 43 muscles to frown, however only 17 to smile. So what we've determined here is it's easier to be happy. Says he's screaming. Speaking of, if you didn't know any of these, you have to share it.
There's treasure in the Rocky Mountains? I'm on my way. We gotta go up
This is your friendly reminder that flies are racist, and you can use that to your advantage. Okay, not really. That was low-key clickbait, but hear me out. You can actually lower the chances flies press you based on the color of your clothes. According to studies, flies are most attracted to the color blue because I guess they mistake it for food or something. Dark browns and blacks close behind. Colors. We are fully talking about colors here. Generally, darker colors are more attractive to insects like black flies, but if you've been to any, I want to say, culturally diverse cookouts, you'll notice the flies have a type. Now, if wearing black isn't a choice but a way of life because, you know, studies also show that many disease-causing flies and mosquitoes hate bright colors like yellow and orange. And since flies are attracted to dark-moving objects, light, neutral colors, that's what you're going to want to go for. And if you're really not trying to mess with flies, striped clothing might actually confuse the flies and make them less likely to land on you. No joke, that's this Barcode Donkey's whole flow. But if you're not trying to do all that, wearing white, beige, or lighter colors like yellow for the summer might just be the move. The more you know.
Write that down, seekers. Write that down. We need all those anti-colors, bro. When I'm going out, man, I'm gonna switch it up. No more freaking flies and mosquitoes for me, bro. They're hella annoying, man. I'm glad we're learning these facts out here.
According to experts what you see first can say a lot about your personality. Today's fun personality test. Look at this picture and let me know what you see first. Comment it down in the comments, lock it in, and then I'm going to tell you what experts say about you.
What do you see?
If you saw the trees first, according to experts, you have great intuition and you always trust it. You have a very laid-back personality and you like spending quiet time doing nothing. If you saw the tiger first, according to experts, you're very strong-minded. And once you make a decision, nothing can change that. And you're somebody who just likes a peaceful life. You don't get into drama just for the sake of getting into drama. So tell me in the comments what you saw first, and are experts right about you, or did they get it completely wrong? And for more fun personality tests like this, follow me.
The most
I saw the
spoiled rich
tiger.
kid Snapchats. This kid was complaining that he crashed his Aston Martin, and he is now driving this, a Bentley. No way you're complaining about that, bro. Don't do that. This kid was mad that he was heading back to school. That was in his private jet. This guy posted a picture of a Rolls Royce and him wearing very expensive shoes. And he captioned it, "Peasant Protection." What? This kid was complaining that his dad got him a bad first car and his dad promised him a Ferrari, showing that he got a new Porsche instead. Bro, I never want to hear you complaining again.
Me either.
You know that crying literally makes you prettier? My name's Angel, and I've been studying in the field of psychotherapy the past 7 years, as well as being a makeup TikToker. And guess what? I just got out of a lash appointment because I cried all of my lashes off this month. And am I mad at myself? Not one bit, because psychologically, crying is a sign that you're healing, not a sign that you're broken or weak. Why? Because your body is designed with something called lacrimal glands. Lacrimal glands are activated when you cry. When your lacrimal glands are activated, your body immediately goes from a state of fight or flight to rest and digest. Your body and your brain are literally threatened when you're in a state of fight or flight. But when you're in a state of rest and digest, you are healing. Your brain becomes prettier and healthier when you feel your emotions deeply. Don't feel wrong for crying. You're actually going in the right direction.
This photo
So
shows
proud more.
41-year-old Stephen Plattle marrying his 19-year-old daughter Katie, who is pregnant with his child. Katie had been previously given up for adoption after her mother Alyssa realized that Stephen was physically abusing their daughter. But in 2016, Katie, who's now 18 years old, wanted to reconnect with her biological parents and actually ends up moving in with them. But after some time, Alyssa realizes that her husband is acting very differently and is even starting to dress better. She decides to ignore this change in behavior until 2017, when Katie gets pregnant and the father is her father. Alyssa immediately divorces Stephen, and just 2 months later, he and Katie are set to get married and give birth to a baby boy. Both the parents attend the wedding and support the marriage until 2018, when Katie begins to see a different side of Stephen. But when she tries to end the relationship, Stephen suffocates their newborn baby and stuffs him inside of a closet. He then proceeds to shoot both Katie and her adoptive dad before turning the gun on himself.
It's a doom right from the start. That dog ain't sweet. Well, they said it was a skinwalker disguised as their dog. So I have a feeling you're in danger. Y'all know what I mean? Haha, I'm in danger. From the Simpsons. Yep, that's how I felt, bro, watching that.
As disturbing as it is entirely possible Amy Lynn Bradley was smuggled off this cruise ship in a suitcase. In 1998, Amy Lynn Bradley went on her family on a Royal Caribbean cruise, right? Early in the morning, her father last saw her on this balcony, and then he closed his eyes for 15 minutes, opened them, and she was gone. It would almost seem like she maybe fell overboard or even jumped overboard, but there's something much more disturbing that might have happened here. So this is a real photo from the ship. This is her first night on that ship when crew members started to notice her in the way she was dressed. There was even a report that there were several crew members who were preying on her. She was about 23 at the time.
Ooh.
Even later that night, this is real footage from the dance floor that night on the ship where she appears to be pursued by one of the band members, Yellow. And of course, if you want the full episode on this, you gotta go check it out. Now, at the time the ship was docked, and 5 months later, witnesses claimed to see her on the beach where she disappeared in the possession of 2 men.
They're gonna say
Damn.
no. So here's what
Since the Olympics themselves don't give out any money to medal winners, it's left up to a country's government and sponsors to decide what they'll win. And boy, do they differ. I mean, starting with the host, France have increased their prize money to $86,000 for gold. USA pays $37,500. Canada are looking at about $16,000. Great Britain pay a whopping total of $0. And the same goes for Norway, New Zealand, and Sweden. But then we got the other extreme. Hong Kong is paying gold medal winners a staggering $780,000. They'll even pay you if you finish 4th to 8th place. Indonesia promised their last 2 gold medal winners 5 cows, a meatball restaurant, and a new house, and $350,000. Singapore, commonly confused with China by US lawmakers,
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
said they will give gold medal winners $744,000. Malaysia are giving out a foreign-made car. Kazakhstan are going for 3, 2, or 1-bedroom apartments. China has always kept theirs a little bit of a secret. And then, just for our rapid fire, we've got South Africa, Spain, Germany, Italy, Australia, and Thailand. Oh, and if you're wondering if athletes could at least just sell their gold medals, well, they're not actually made from pure gold. And if they were to sell them, they'd get about $960. That's it. So the question is, which country do you think takes the W for their prizes?
This is the clip.
The one who gives out the most, man. I'm thinking when I was a kid, I know I wasn't the only thing when I was a kid. I thought if you want to go medal, you were rich, you were set for life. That is said if you sell it, bro, so you only get like $960. Man, we learning, bro. The Olympics, I said, they scamming, bro. Whole life a scam.
Clearest picture of a spirit that I've ever seen. When this photo was taken, there was no woman present inside of the building. And when investigators checked the photos that they had taken that night afterwards, they saw this ghostly face of a woman.
Whoa.
And what's really eerie about this is that this photo was taken inside of the Dumas brothel in Montana. And this location is known to be haunted by a number of women. I actually spent the night recently inside of the building where that photo was taken. Welcome to the Dumas brothel in Butte, Montana. Now, this place is haunted by a number of female spirits, and it has a pretty tragic history. So there were 3 deaths inside of the building, and all 3 of them could have been murders. In fact, one of the former madams of the brothel actually passed away up here in the upper floor of the building. And almost immediately afterwards, another woman took over her position, started driving her car, wearing her robes. So people definitely suspect it was a murder. In the basement of the building is a very scary portion of the place called the Cribs. I was talking to the owners of the building, and they think that there may have been illegal baby sales going on in the basement. And they also think the lives of babies and children may have been ended. The energy in here is so dark, it's so scary, and it's violent too. I saw it firsthand. I just can't get over this photo. I think it gives very uncanny valley vibes, and when I investigated there that night and actually was in the pitch black inside of that building, I couldn't stop thinking about how freaky this photo was, and the activity that we caught on camera that night definitely matched the vibe of this picture. It was scary, it was intense, something choked my dad out. I was with my dad, he almost had to quit investigating that night. Yeah, the video is on my YouTube channel now if you want to watch it. It's so crazy.
Should we check that out, Seekers? A full-on haunted freaking brothel? What the hell? Why didn't they just freaking knock down that building, man? Like I said, they had dark energy over there. Freaking brave souls investigating that. Paranormal. I don't know if I
The
can do it.
Minimal cheating drama is just got so much crazier. Because not only is bro posting videos of him doing pull-ups in the gym the day after he may or may not have been cheated on, but he's also seen sat by a pool with his arm over a new girl. And I mean, at this point, I'm not even sure if she's special, because every shot that we're seeing, there's a new one. In this one, he sat next to a girl in a black bikini. And then moments later, there's another one with a yellow one this time. Point is, bro's really learning from Neymar. Now, as for Alex Padilla, she removed the I'm married text from her TikTok bio today, and also deleted her Instagram that had over 500k followers. Her new Instagram only follows 34 people, and Lamine is still not one of them. She also posted a new video, which could be seen as a little bit of a dig, where she is wearing the Spanish national team shorts, and also with a song that translates to something about the line of, "Remember how perfect this body is." The question is this gonna turn Lamin into a beast or distract him and send him on a bender?
The dark rumors about powerful people.
Okay.
Is there any truth to that?
My mom thinks there's a conspiracy theory where all the rich dudes get together in a room and they like plot like Inspector Gadget or something. Here's the problem with that theory. They have such big egos, they don't like each other. Elon Musk doesn't like Bill Gates. So there's no universe where those two dudes are at a table. Do you think you become a billionaire without being an extreme narcissist at some level? You are greedy and some level of psychopath. There's a ruthless level to it.
They're wired kind of like serial killers.
Exactly. Serial killers are solo wolves. Warren Buffett comes off as a nice guy, but trust me, this dude will eat your heart out in a negotiation.
Cool facts I think you should know.
What do you guys think?
2. The blast of air you feel when you walk into a store is meant to stop bugs from flying in. Some people are genetically predisposed to be more attractive to mosquitoes. People who trust their gut feelings are more likely to predict the outcomes of future events correctly. Tying your hair too tightly can strain your scalp's muscles and tendons, resulting in a ponytail headache. The feeling of your arm falling asleep at night is typically caused by pinched nerves, not a lack of blood flow or circulation. When you bring a live Christmas tree into your house, you're likely bringing spiders, mites, and other overwintering insects inside as well.
But I'm a live Christmas tree type of person. I don't like the fake trees. What do you guys think? See, because are you guys fake tree persons or you guys get the real pine trees, man? Those facts. Man, we are learning out here today, bro.
3 tips that can actually save your life. Number 1, if you're outside and your hair starts to do this, run and find shelter immediately. Because this is a sign lightning is about to strike right where you are. Number 2, if you're stuck in a falling elevator, do not jump or try to pry open the doors. You want to lay flat on your back on the floor. This position will give you the best chance of survival because it distributes the impact across your whole body. Number 3, if you're stuck in a sinking car, do not try to open the door. The water pressure against the door will be too strong and will not allow you to. You want to undo your seatbelt and roll down your window as fast as you can because this will allow you to escape.
Here are 7 facts you need to know today. Let's start off with the fact that the average person walks the equivalent of 5 laps around the world in their lifetime. Yeah, that means you, time to get those steps in. Globally, only 2% of people actually have green eyes. And it is considered the most attractive eye color. So basically, send this to someone who has green eyes. Domino's are currently trialing drones for their delivery process. That's right, instead of a guy rocking up in a car with your pepperoni passion pizza, you've now got a drone. Coming up to your window. TGI Friday promotion called Mobile Mistletoe used a drone to fly mistletoe around the restaurant to random customers. This was a really cool idea until one service when the drone flew into a customer's nose. This person became the Van Gogh of noses, if you know what I mean. What I'm trying to say is drones, if flown correctly, are a lot of fun. And if you're planning on getting a drone anytime soon, there are cheap options to start with. Banggood actually offer insane prices on drones, as well as literally everything else you can think of. The link is in my bio, and thank me later. Finally, in 1673, the Big Apple, New York, was known as the Big Orange. Elon!
The Big Orange? When the hell they changed the name to the Big Apple?
Weird ass facts that I know for some reason. Most Koreans have a genetic mutation called ABCC11, which makes their sweat odorless. If you ate a polar bear's liver, you would literally die because there's way too much vitamin A for a human to handle. If you ever find yourself seeing an anteater doing this silly T-pose, get the fuck away, because that is their way of warning you that they're about to claw your eyes out. On average, around 2,195 children die from diarrhea every single day. That is more than AIDS, measles, and malaria combined. Around 95% of whale semen is dumped into the ocean during mating season. You actually have a lot more in common with gorillas than you think. For instance, the average length of a gorilla's schlong is 2 inches.
He just tried to cook everybody, bro. Who watched? Why is he trying to cook people, bro? And I never knew that fact about diarrhea. All the other ones combined, man. That's how people
Did
go out.
Lamine Yamal just get cheated on? Because the video that is going viral is striking god-level fear into every man's heart right now. Although Lamine never publicly said it was official, he brought Alex Pernella out after he won the Euros final. And just a few days ago, they went on holiday together in Greece. So, yeah, they were probably dating. But then, last night, a live stream went viral showing Alex with a group of friends. And at the start, yeah, it didn't seem like much. Then, a couple minutes later, this brother filming raises the phone and shows her either sat on another guy's lap or at least very close. Almost immediately, she smacks the phone out of the guy's hands and says this in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. Someone translate in the comments, please. Now, let's be honest. This isn't proof that she cheated or that they've even broken up. But this morning, they no longer follow each other on Instagram. And guys are now saying that if Lamine could get cheated on, none of us are safe. And that she fumbled the bag. She fumbled generational wealth for the love of the game. But if we do get any actual confirmation, I'll let you guys know.
These are creepy facts. You know what happened.
That are absolutely disturbing. Part 1. Up first, you breathe in dead skin every single day of your life. This is because the dust in your house is actually 50% dead skin, which is from yourself and family. So next time you're around your house and you see dust, just know that's 50% dead skin. Next up, your eyeballs are a part of your brain. Your eyeballs are so close and connected to the brain that they're considered a part of the brain. This is absolutely mind-blowing, and I never knew this. Finally, death of an old age is not a real thing at all. You can't die of old age, only by the diseases brought on by old age. Up first, your belly button is an ecosystem. There are at least 2,300 distinct different species of bacteria living in your belly button. So next time you're in the shower, make sure to wash your belly button because I know you definitely forget. Next up, did you know spicy food literally tastes like a burn? When tasting spiciness, the tongue is actually tricked, and your brain senses temperature. So that spicy feeling you feel whenever you eat spicy food, that's actually just your mouth burning. Finally, your brain can live without a body. The human head can stay conscious up to 20 seconds after being decapitated. Just imagine being decapitated and your head is just laying on the ground and you can still hear, see, and think. That's what you call a living nightmare.
Yeah, they do the head, bro. That is a living nightmare, man. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're true seekers seeking the truth. I really appreciate the support, man. Like I said, guys, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification bell, follow me on my social medias down below. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up in this video. Let's start off this month strong. You guys gonna catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing all right, man. If you guys are brand new to my channel, you guys don't know what we do here, man. We break down scary and creepy videos, man, on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG reels, Facebook, anything weird, usual, and unexplained. You can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank my supporters, man, who's tapping into the channel, subscribing, hitting that post notification bell, man, hitting that like button on each and every single video. You guys are helping us push us into the algorithm. Really appreciate the support. Fought this video for you guys today. Let's do what we do best, man. Let's seek the truth. Okay. Saw some movement. Ooh. You guys think of that, man? You definitely saw some movement on those objects. Were those edits, or were those just like legit cases, I guess, of paranormal activity going around on those objects, man? Those statues? It's very creepy and eerie. You guys know what to do.
Casper was born in the 1800s, and his mother actually passed away while she was giving birth to him. So he was raised by his father, and apparently his father was a really good man. He treated Casper really well, was a very loving father. He always wanted to make his own son happy and would basically do anything for him. Well, there was this one Christmas where Casper begged his father to buy him a sled. So, of course, because his father loved him so much, he went out and bought him a sled, and Casper was...
What happened? You know the story of Casper the Goose? It happened because of a sled? Alright. What was this? His dog?
Dream. I got everything I wanted, but when I wake up I see you with me.
Put your phone in your mouth for like a year.
If you're alone right now, don't watch this video. In the winter of 2018, a man who was living alone in the mountains wakes up to find a red ball sitting on his front yard. He assumed the only neighbor he had must have kids, and so he kicks the ball over the fence, goes inside, doesn't think anything of it. That night, he wakes up to the sound of kids laughing outside of his window. He goes outside to check on them because it's the middle of the night, and there's no kids anywhere, but that red ball is back on his property. So he picks it up, brings it in his house, and goes back to bed. The next morning, he goes over to his neighbor's house to let them know that their kids were out in his yard in the middle of the night. But it turns out his neighbor is just some old man who lives alone, and there aren't any kids anywhere in the area. That night he wakes up again to the sound of kids on his property, and when he looks outside, there's no kids, but that red ball is back on his property. Panicked, he runs downstairs to make sure the one he brought in is still inside, and it's gone. He checked every window and door, and everything was still locked. It didn't make any sense. He decides to look out the window one more time, and off in the distance is some weird stiff figure watching him.
Was that somebody playing like a prank on him, or that red ball was legit haunted? He took it inside the house, but when he go to look for it again, it was gone. That one gets the mom
I'm
turning.
here to ruin your childhood. Peter Pan was a crazy psychopath that trapped little kids in Neverland. He killed them before they grew up, which is why they could never leave as adults. Captain Hook was one of the Lost Boys that escaped Neverland, which explains why Peter Pan attacked Captain Hook and fed his arm to the crocodile. Which means, the whole time, Peter Pan was the bad guy. I'm sorry, guys.
Childhood freaking exposed.
Oh, like, Alexis has been gone for so freaking long trying to actually move.
Okay, but like...
Okay. Shoot. Alexis?
What the hell is that attacking them? They was all in the woods camping. Like watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. Some out of nowhere just freaking attack them looking for Alexis. Cause she was using the bathroom out there. Maybe it could have been an animal of some sort. I don't know.
Did we dig a hole to hell in 1989? In 1989, geologists were digging the Kola borehole, which is now known as the largest hole in the world, measuring at 7.5 miles.
Damn.
It's said that they stopped digging when temperatures rose too high, around 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But the story goes that the geologists heard the sounds of suffering souls within the hole, which gave it the name the Well to Hell. They recorded sounds of masses of people screaming in torment and agony from this hole. It's said that then scientists watched in horror as a massive cloud burst from out of the ground. The story goes that this cloud then formed into a monstrous bat, and "I have conquered" was written across the sky. I'm now going to play a recording of the sounds that were heard in this hole. Check out part 2 for the rest of the story, and here's this disturbing audio clip.
Here is very disturbing indeed.
It sounds like it's based off Stranger Things.
This story's called Help Me. A Macedonian family have been travelling through America. After being out late one night, their little girl curls up in the booth of a restaurant and falls asleep. She later wakes up in the back seat of the car. Still dazed and confused, she sees them pull into a doctor's clinic. While in the doctor's, the girl struggles to understand anything that's being said. The woman turns and says, "Where's the usual doctor?" And calmly, the doctor turns and says, "Well, I'm filling in today." Angry, the mother says, "Well, my daughter's sick and I think she's got food poisoning." When he talks to the girl in English, he doesn't get a response. The mother says she only speaks Macedonian, and the doctor turns and says "Dobro" in Macedonian. The girl's eyes light up. He leans down and says, "Are you okay? Have they hurt you yet?" The girl says, no, but that's not my mum. I'm so scared. He looks at the mum who's confused and says, I'll have to examine her. As she lays on the table, he says, I'm a policeman, sweetie. These people have drugged you. They've also taken my daughter and I need you to go with them so I can find her. She hops down from the bed and in total fear she leaves with the woman.
What? It was like an undercover story or something? What happened to the guy in the orange, man? I was paying close attention to him. I don't know if I'll spot it. Y'all tell me down below, man. We seek it, so let's hope you check it out. Did you guys spot anything wrong with that video?
Yeah, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check.
Panic Pete. That's the toy you squeeze, right? Is that an edit?
Today we'll be talking about the slit-mouth woman. The slit-mouth woman is a spirit known for wearing a face mask that approaches her victims by asking them if they think she's pretty. If you answer with no, she'll kill you with a sharp weapon that she carries around. If you say yes, she'll take off her mask and ask you, am I pretty now? If you say no, she'll kill you with the sharp weapon. And if you say yes, she'll cut your mouth just like hers. The only known way to avoid her is to answer with maybe. This will confuse her and give you a chance to run away. But running doesn't always work because she tries to appear in front of you as you try to escape.
Okay.
Most unusual deaths in human history, Part 2. In 1975, a man in England named Alex Mitchell sat down to watch some TV after a long day's work laying down brick. He then tuned in to watch his favorite TV show, The Goodies. The Goodies were a trio of British comedians who had their own TV show from the 70s to the 80s. They were known for their sketches and physical comedy. However, Alex was particularly amused by this episode's sketch, where a kilted Scotsman battles a man wielding a tube filled with sausage. Once Alex started laughing, he found himself unable to quit. Several minutes later, he was still laughing, and when you laugh for 6 minutes straight, your heart rate begins to increase rapidly. 15 minutes passed. As Alex continued to laugh, his heart rate began to increase even more, causing him to rapidly lose oxygen and him to lose control of his sphincter muscles. 20 minutes later, his body became urgently deprived of oxygen, and he had a massive stroke, causing him to die of laughter.
Dying of laughter? What the hell? You've always heard, that saying that, like, laughter is the cure to everything, but seems like even if you laugh too much, that can be it. I've never heard of that before, man. That's the first time hearing a case like that. Passed away because you was laughing too much? That's one of the most bizarre and insane cases we've heard yet. This definitely has to be in the top 10 now.
This sounds totally made up until you listen to the police report. In the early 90s, a teenage girl started to see these shadowy figures that would come into a room at night and crawl all around her room and even grab at her legs. At the same time, her health began to rapidly deteriorate, which ultimately led to her death, which doctors never understood. A few days after her death, her sister woke up to a whistling sound and saw a creature crawling around her room with no face. The same night, her mom was ripped out of bed by someone. The father calls the police, who come over, they search the house, they don't find anything, it's all quiet. As they're about to leave, they hear something. Horrifying screams coming out of the bedroom. They run inside, no one's in there, but there are these huge gashes on the wall that were not there before. The police get out of there. In the police report that was filed immediately after this house call, the chief inspector and the 3 officers that were there that night swear they saw and heard the same things as the family, which means the police officially believed that the house was haunted.
4K in writing. True case.
When you finish this video, you're going to Google 2 words. In 2014, 2 Dutch college students were staying in Panama when they decided to take their host family's dog out for a walk. The dog returned, but the girls didn't. After 10 weeks without any leads, a local woman turned in a blue backpack that contained the girls' cell phones and their camera. Using their call log, they were able to determine that the girls would attempt to reach emergency services 77 times, all unsuccessful, starting just hours into their trip. It was also determined that 5 days after those 77 calls, somebody tried unsuccessfully several times to unlock the girls' phones. But the most distressing thing is what was found on the camera. The first set was taken on the day they left and they were totally normal. The second set was taken in the middle of the night over a week after they had left, and it showed all their belongings neatly laid out on a rock, and it showed one of the girls who appeared to be hurt. They found their remains spread out around the area where the backpack was found, and some of their bones appeared to have been bleached. There is still no official cause of death or explanation as to what happened.
Gotta be careful, man. Like, especially when you traveling to these other parts of the country, man. You never know who's watching you. Like I said, they try to call 77 times. Very eerie. It was all set up all over the place, man. Seekers, man. If you're traveling out of the country, man, you gotta be careful. Never know what could happen, man. Always be alert. Always be aware. Same story. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true one. Seeking the truth. I greatly appreciate the support, like I said, guys. Thank you guys for joining me on my journey. Please make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, follow me on my social medias, man. We're growing. Let's continue to do that. Still doing these daily uploads for you guys. Guys can catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing all right, man. If you guys are brand new to the channel, you guys don't know what we do. We break down the scary and creepy videos on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG videos, Facebook, man. Anything weird, usual, and unexplained, you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank my supporters, man, who's tapping into the channel, watching the entire video, hitting that post notification bell, man, and hitting that like button on each and every single video I drop. Really appreciate your support. Found this video for you guys today. Let's do what we do best, Seekers. Let's explore the truth.
Cute animals that could actually kill you. While this creature is about the size of a teddy bear and has big, adorable eyes, experts say to stay away from a slow loris at all costs. If you even attempt to pick it up and hold it, it will most likely feel threatened and try to bite you. And their bites are filled with a fast-acting poison, so it's best to just admire its cuteness from far away. Seals may look adorable swimming and splashing in the water, but these guys are not to be messed with, especially if they're leopard seals. Leopard seals are known to be extremely aggressive and have been reported to attack researchers if they get too close to them. And even though their bites might not be enough to kill you, they can still leave you with permanent damage. Swans are seen as one of the most beautiful animals, but if you ever see one swimming around in a lake, don't even think about feeding them. Just like other wild animals, swans will assume that humans are threats, and if you try to feed them, they'll just get closer to you until it tries to bite you. Most people see dolphins as one of the friendliest creatures that everyone wants to swim with, but the only people that should be swimming with them are professionals. Wild dolphins have an instinct to attack without a clear purpose, so if you plan to get in the water with them, it's best to swim at a nice distance, because you'll never know what state they're in.
Creepy last words people said right before dying. A 20-year-old gang member was dying of primary liver cancer. In his last days, hours, and moments, he was angry. The family called the hospice nurse into the room and told her that they thought he was going. He wasn't responding, his eyes were glossy, his skin was cold, the end was imminent. His lovely mother whispered to him to go towards the light, to her Jesus. He opened his eyes, looked at her, and said, "F your Jesus." A second or two later, he slowly turned his head to the left and got the most horrific look on his face, as if he was looking at something that they couldn't see. And horrified, his face contorted, and he screamed with his last breath, eyes wide, "Oh sh*! Oh sh*! Oh no!" Then he made a guttural noise and promptly fell back into the bed and died. Every family member was shaking and too frightened to speak. The hospice nurse left the room and took 2 days off. She said she doesn't care if she never finds out what he saw.
What did he see, Seekers?
AI art is not something that's terribly new, but have you heard about the woman that is haunting AI pictures? This is the face, and nobody can explain why she keeps showing up in AI images. If you look at her, she's not really general. I mean, there are specific characteristics here that are consistent. Again, nobody knows which prompts are generating this woman. Nobody knows why her face continues to appear in different models. So this has opened up one of my favorite questions about the idea that AI pictures can be haunted. And don't forget, if things like this are of interest to you, make sure to go check out the podcast.
Dirty facts about history.
Damn, what do you guys think, bro? We know AI, man, that technology, it keeps getting more advanced. So could that have been a glitch, or was somebody doing that on purpose? Or was it really just haunted, bro? AI's going in. It's not like we can control it, we can regulate it, but It's getting too advanced for my taste.
That school probably didn't teach you. In the 1400s, prostitutes wore wigs on their lady parts with fake pubic hair to prevent lice and cover up any syphilis sores before doing the dirty. An intern at NASA once stole a safe full of moon rocks, sprinkled them on a hotel bed, and proceeded to have sex with his girlfriend on top of them. Man was sentenced to 8 years in federal prison for getting his rocks off. Raphael, the Italian Renaissance artist, not the Ninja Turtle, died of exhaustion from non-stop sex. In other words, he boned till he croaked. A common hairstyle in 17th century Europe was the Polish plait, a gross, smelly mass of crusty, matted hair cemented together by pus, nits, and dirt. The hairstyle was believed to have healing properties and could supposedly protect people from illnesses. During the Iron Age in Ireland, a new king would be crowned in a ceremony in which he penetrated a horse in front of an audience. The horse would then be eaten for dinner by everyone who just witnessed them doing the dirty.
Hell no. I don't know what type of rituals and stuff they was doing back in the day, but that ain't it. What the hell? Edit. Call him out.
There was only one child when this photo was taken. Let's enhance it with sharp AI. Mer and Mrs. Colton were taking a picture of their daughter. When they developed it, they were shocked to see their older daughter, Anne, who had to 3D only months prior in an accident. The other child seems to be sensing a presence, but after this picture was taken, they never saw Anne again.
How the hell did AI know that? It's getting too advanced. I'm
Did
telling
you know
y'all.
that there is a mummy in Sicily that blinks? Yes, she blinks. This is Rosalie Lombardo, who died of pneumonia in the 1920s at the age of 2 years old. Rosalie is perfectly preserved, from her external features to her internal organs, but that's not the strangest part. Her eyes are still as blue and flawless as the day that she passed away. She simply looks like a child taking a nap. But this child tends to open her eyes and close them randomly, like she's blinking away the cobwebs. People have come to see her for hundreds of years, and every time, visitors will leave and say, "That dead girl is blinking." What do you think it is?
How the hell is she blinking? We seen by the clips that we viewed together how sometimes, you know, like even the body after it passes, it goes on, like it still does, like, I guess, weird things because of build up gas and things and stuff like that. But to be blinking, I've never heard that before. I need you guys' theories on that one.
I bet you don't know how false teeth were originally made. In the very beginning, most sets were made of animal teeth. These proved to be uncomfortable and ineffective. So that's when they started venturing into using human teeth in dentures. In the 1700s is when sugar became widely available across Europe, and sugar started to cause the teeth to decay way more rapidly. It wasn't uncommon for a peasant to remove their own tooth and sell it for a quick buck. There was also an issue with grave robbing to obtain teeth. Of course, neither of those were needed when Waterloo teeth became a thing. With over 50,000 young men lost at the Battle of Waterloo, suddenly they realized they had an overabundance of teeth. So it wasn't uncommon at all for someone to be wearing the teeth of a soldier.
People were stealing teeth back in the day. The more you know.
Is this the one that allegedly appears in the cemetery at night? Yes, it is. So this right here is Fabiola Rodriguez's grave site, and in August of 2020, her mom noticed that certain things were going missing, like toys and personal belongings from the site. A grave nearby this one, they have a camera attached to it because somebody had been vandalizing their son's grave. So anyway, these people noticed this on their camera footage and go to the cemetery owners who say, "We know who that is." So they get her contact information and introduce themselves to her and say, "Hey, we have something really beautiful to show you that we caught on our camera." And her mom just broke down into tears because she was like, "That is my baby. I know it is. That is my baby." It also captured her walking away with what appears to be a man. And her mom, Sandra, said, "I think she was there to take him to heaven." They both have a tragic story of things that happened to them. And I mean, both of them still haven't gotten justice. So I think she was there to comfort him and take him to heaven. But yeah, I mean, isn't that just amazing?
The camera caught it. She said it was her baby, so I'll take her. We're going to have to check up on that one. Mysterious.
This is the scary story about the mom. One night, there was a 6-year-old girl who woke up in the middle of the night to her mom standing over her bed, staring down at her with a creepy smile on her face. The girl knew something was wrong, but she couldn't put her finger on it. The girl then said, "Mom?" "Yes," she replied. "What are you doing?" the girl asked. "Watching you sleep," she said. "Why?" said the girl. The mom didn't say anything and kept staring at her, smiling. They each didn't say a word to each other for minutes, but still keeping eye contact with each other. Then the mom began to walk backwards, still staring at the girl with that creepy smile, and then went into the girl's closet and shut the door. The girl then got up and ran to her mom's bedroom and saw her mom asleep in her bed.
Why was the mom staring over
Deadliest
her?
disasters in human history.
Oh.
Part 1. In 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger broke apart 73 seconds into its flight, killing all 7 crew members aboard. The astronauts actually lived through the initial explosion and survived for nearly 3 minutes before they died on impact with the water. In 1184, a group of nobles gathered in a room in the Church of St. Peter above the latrine pit of the monks. All of a sudden, the floor collapsed due to their combined weight, causing 60 nobles to fall to their death into a pool of poop and sewage. In 1893, gifts were being passed out at a magic show in Victoria Hall. Over 1,000 kids tried to force themselves down a narrow staircase that led to a single door that opened inward. Only one child at a time could pass through, causing 183 children to be crushed to death.
Man, what the hell? All over some damn toys. These, man, like I said, when we read these clips together, bro, it's always bothering my mind, man. We learning new things every single day. Tap in with us.
Animals that became serial killers, Part 2. The sloth bear of Mysore. In 1957, the sloth bear of Mysore mauled over 30 humans and took the lives of 12. The sloth bear's killing spree didn't stop, and the bear just had a desire for killing. The killer sloth bear went missing in late 1957, after the killings took place. What do you think ever happened to the sloth bear of Mysore?
Whoa. Did they, like, hunt for it or try to take it down, or they just let it roam?
In California, when their son began to say something very creepy.
On a family vacation that took a strange turn. He visited the same area where a missing woman was last seen.
He said that there was a woman staring at him in the field nearby.
Got goosebumps. He said she needs our help, but she's dead, and she's laying face down with her legs up. She can't talk to me, but she's over there. We need to go help her.
Creeped out by this, both of his parents went to go check the surrounding area, but found nothing.
He said she has a black shirt, blue jeans, and blue hair, Mom. He kept saying, trust me, Mom.
After arriving home, Victoria posts about the experience to Facebook, and not long after she does so, the police came knocking at her door with photos of a woman named Sandra Johnson Hughes. She had gone missing in the exact same location 1 year prior. Authorities would then proceed to exhaust their efforts searching the area over the next few days. Sadly, they would find nothing. If what this little boy was saying was true, experts believe that any evidence of her remains would be long gone by now. Could Caden have actually seen the ghost of this woman, or is his description merely a coincidence? What do you believe?
Black shirt and blue hair. He describes down to blue hair. Said she has a black shirt, blue jeans, and blue hair, Mom.
Aiden was able to identify 3 out of 4 pictures of her. Detectives went back to the meadow with the Gorba family to investigate, but the case remains open.
That is insane. How he nailed that description. He must. Whoa, that's really mind blowing. You guys really think you saw something? This world, man.
Terrifying animals who are glad are extinct. Number 1, the megalodon shark. This animal can grow to about 60 feet long, and one tooth is said to be the size of a human.
Damn.
They were meat-eating creatures that could kill and destroy just about anything. If they were still around today, oceans would be off limits. Number 2, the Titanoboa. This snake weighed about 2,000 pounds but was also 40 feet long. The snakes killed their prey with constrictions, meaning they would suffocate them to death. Number 3, the Caprosuchus. Just imagine if a T-Rex and a crocodile had a baby. This animal looks like a crocodile, but it has very long legs and can run very fast. The Caprosuchus could run as fast as 40 kilometers per hour. For context, the average male human runs at just 13 kilometers per hour. What's more?
Morbid facts that will give you nightmares. When a prisoner is electrocuted in an electric chair, they can feel absolutely everything. They are fully aware that their body is being fried in real time, and one prisoner that survived said he actually smelled and tasted like cold peanut butter. Human corpses decompose 4 times faster in water than underground, and 8 times faster if left in the open air. It takes around 359 humans to have enough iron to forge a sword from their blood. Just about 3,000 people go missing every single year in the US. The last execution by guillotine was in 1977 in France. That was exactly the same year that the first Star Wars movie came out.
Insane to think about the last fact.
These are animals that used to be giants, part 1. Up first are bears. And yes, we all know bears are still pretty big and dangerous, but nothing is compared to what bears used to look like. So you see this mountain, and you see how it looks like it has a bunch of claw marks up and down it? Well, that's because it does. This mountain is called Devil's Tower, and there's a very disturbing story behind it. The scratches on this mountain are actually from a giant bear's claws. The bear always tried to reach the top, but it never could. This story has been passed on to generations of Native American tribes, and just imagine coming in contact with a bear this big.
What the hell? See, could you guys believe that one? A bear that big, man, was trying to crawl up that mountain? They said that story's been passed down for generations, so... I can't even imagine seeing a bear like that. The whole ecosystem will be different.
In this picture has in common. There might be a lot of people who don't know this, but they were a part of the original case that inspired the film Scream. It was 1990, Gainesville, Florida, the University of Florida, where a string of horrific crimes took place, and it involved those students. And when I think of almost every victim involved, Krista's story is definitely one of the most chilling, as her body was first found, but her head was found separately on her dresser. Where all these suspicions and eventually some circumstantial evidence would put this kid behind bars, especially because he looked the part. The problem here is that he wasn't the guy. This was like a 72-hour period where it was just back-to-back slayings, till eventually they found their culprit, who was camping out in the woods outside of the university and was recording himself singing songs about what he had done. And if you want additional details on this, we covered a whole episode getting into the back.
I never knew Scream was based off that. I'm telling you, man, these media pieces, they be based on true stories. We just don't know the real backstory behind it, man. Another one. Exposed.
We figured, look, if we can make perfect copies of these Parthenon sculptures, the visitors will have the same experience when they come to the British Museum. They'll see these amazing statues, they'll understand the aesthetics of antiquity, the Greeks would have their treasured objects back, and everybody would be happy. That was the plan. The British Museum decided they would take a very strong position against the project. So, of course, we did it anyway. And we did it guerrilla style, because we read the regulations for the museum. It says specifically, visitors may use 3D scanning equipment in the museum, and they may use the product of those 3D scans for any non-commercial purpose. Boom, we're done. So we went in guerrilla style and made scans of all the Parthenon sculptures.
I mean, so what's the pitch? Why should the British Museum have the copies, not the originals?
The Parthenon sculptures in their current state teach people absolutely nothing. In fact, they misinform people about the aesthetics of antiquity. These things were brightly painted with skin tones and garish colors. So the British Museum could take these copies, and not only could they display them in exactly the same form in which they are being displayed now, they would also have the capacity to restore them to the condition they were in when they were on the Parthenon, so people can really understand what the aesthetics of the ancient world were like, and to see them in their full glory.
Today's true crime story is
Yeah, so why did the British Museum, why did they want the real ones instead of, I guess, the replicas that they were making? That's the question we need to really be asking.
pretty chilling, okay? This one even scared me, right? But anyways, this has some very disturbing and graphic details. Viewer discretion is advised. In the early 1900s in Bavaria, Germany, the Gruber family lived in this farmhouse called the Hinterkaifeck.
The family consisted of husband and wife Andreas and Kazilia, their widowed daughter Victoria, and Victoria kids Joseph and Kazilia. The family noticed a lot of strange things going on around the house. Andreas noticed a set of keys that were missing, and also there were footprints in the snow leading from the woods to the house, but there was never no footprints ever leaving the house. There was also a newspaper in the house that Andreas never remembered buying, and it looked as if someone was trying to pick at the lock on the shed. While all these strange things were going on, they had a maid at the time, and the maid was like, "Look, I gotta quit. This house is haunted." The family kept hearing noises in the attic, and the maid just like, "Look, I can't be here anymore. The noises in the attic, all the stuff going on around here, I can't do it."
She's smart.
Although strange things continue to happen in the house, the family ends up hiring a new maid named Marie. What the group of family did not know was that those strange things would lead to their murder. On the evening of March 31st, 1922, the group of family was murdered. Victoria's son Joseph was killed in his crib, and Maria was killed in her bed. What's so crazy about this is that same day, March 31st, 1922, that was the same day that the maid Maria was hired. Meanwhile, the rest of the group of family was found murdered in the barn, and they were stacked on top of each other. When people in the town didn't see the family for days, they grew concerned, and the police came to the house, and then that's when they discovered all the bodies. All the victims were killed by a pickaxe, but the police were so puzzled about something. The family wasn't found until 6 days later, but it seemed like someone had made themselves at home. Police noticed that food was being eaten, the animals were being fed, someone was sleeping in the beds, sitting on the furniture, things like that. For years, the police were looking for the suspect or suspects, but they couldn't find anybody. So the case was closed in 1955, and the year after the murders, the whole farmhouse was demolished. To me, I feel like someone was able to sneak into the house without the family's knowledge and was living in the attic for months. That's what I think. Alright, y'all, that's it, and I'll be back to do more true crime videos for you guys.
Heard cases about that before, people being in the places and they don't know.
In 2018, both of these women were found decapitated in Morocco. And trigger warning, this story is extremely disturbing. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this story takes us to Morocco, but specifically to the Atlas Mountain. And the two victims were Louisa Jespersen, who was 24 years old from Denmark, and her friend Maren Uland, who was 28 years old from Norway. And in December of 2018, both of the women had decided to go on a month-long camping trip in the mountains. And both of the women had also been studying outdoor activities at the University of Southeastern Norway. They were also apparently roommates, and they were training to become guides. Now, it's believed that both of the women were being targeted by the men that ended up attacking them. Not only were they targeted, they were also observed for multiple days before the entire thing happened. And on December 17th, both of their bodies were found beheaded inside of their tents by another hiker. Shortly after that, there was a video that went viral on the dark web that supposedly showed one of the beheadings. And even though you could dig deep enough to find this video, I really don't recommend watching it. Just reading the comments alone about the video and what it shows are extremely disturbing. But I'll describe it for you guys in the least graphic way possible. Now, the video is quite short, but it begins with one of the women being filmed on what appears to be a cell phone. At first, she's being filmed while she's lying down on her stomach, and you can see one of the perpetrators trying to cut her head from the back. When the perpetrator realizes that this was not going to work, he then turns her around so she's facing up. He then puts his foot on her face, kind of locking her into place on the ground, and proceeds to decapitate her. And apparently all you can hear in the video is her screaming for her life as she asks and begs for her mother. Eventually, authorities were able to find their main suspects, which were these three men here. And the three men were known for having pledged their allegiance to ISIS. And the reason for them doing this to these two innocent women was because they believed that they were enemies to their God. And then in July of 2019, the three men were found guilty and were given a death sentence. And although one of the men did take the easy way out and took his own life, the other two are still waiting for their sentence to be executed.
Crazy, man. Crazy story. You guys, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker seeking the truth. Like I said, I greatly appreciate the support. Guys, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, hit that post notification bell, man. I'm doing daily uploads. That's my schedule for now. So you guys should always check the channel at least one time, like every day, because you guys gonna find a new upload. You guys gonna catch in the next one, and I'm out. Peace, YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing all right, man. If you guys are brand new to the channel, you guys don't know what we do. We break down scary and creepy videos on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG videos, Facebook, anything weird, usual, and unexplained you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank my the supporters, man, who's tapping into the channel, subscribing, hitting that post notification bell, man, hitting that like button. You guys don't know how much you guys are helping out the channel just by doing those 3 simple things. You guys are pushing us in the algorithm, and we're connecting and find other people to join our community. Found this video for you guys today. Let's do what we do best, seekers. Let's seek the truth. Damn. All this place is abandoned? What the hell happened that caused them to be abandoned? You guys have any idea why they just like abandoned all those places? There was like amusement parks, freaking movie theaters and stuff like that. That like a natural disaster or something happened that caused them to just leave the area and just never reopened it. Something to think about. Claustrophobia. Ooh. That guy's claustrophobic, man. That was a tight fit. Based on real stories, man. Was that an edit, or was that like some, lost footage, man, of Peppa Pig? You guys know recently how, man, we be seeing these clips, bro, of like how these cartoons and stuff, how they be having secret messages, man, behind them. Wouldn't surprise me, man, if Peppa Pig was in on it too. It was just announced a couple of days ago how it's been on for 20 years, so you know some stuff going on in the background, man. That's why we got to pay attention to our media. Upgraded throughout time. Saudi Arabia. Celebrities, everybody age, change, but you know what happens in that type of work. Ooh, that was an edit. You know what that was. What happened? Have you ever been on a ride, man, and it got stuck? That's something you never want to be. I think that legit probably only happened to me one time when I was going up on a roller coaster, and I kind of, stayed away from that. After that happened, I said, I don't like that, and this ain't gonna happen to me again. These rides, I've had a couple of crazy stories about what happened on those rides. They're just like, that ain't for me. Tell me down below, man, if you guys are like roller coaster heads and y'all can do that. I can't. Edit. That was a family edit too. crazy fact. Big bodies of water. Drugs might like make you age. Why they abandoning them, bro? We know why they look like that, man. After what they've been through. You know, probably back then they didn't have a term for it, but we obviously know what they went through now, man. It's just like the things you see over that, or if you partake in what happened over there, it changes you. So it's no wonder why they look completely different persons before and after the before and after shot, man. Pitbull is James Charles? What the? That was Cat with Quavo. Makeup changes you. Lockdown. What would y'all rank as one of the most creepy Marvel the MCU does, man? You know, fun fact, I'm an MCU fan, been keeping up with it for a minute, but I think for me, probably had to be the Doctor Strange and Dormammu scene where he kept it kept happening over and over again. It was like a loop. Hollywood changes you. I don't know what happened to her. You said Detroit from 2009 to 2013, all those look like some important buildings and stuff. They just got taken down, or they just didn't even pay attention to it, man. Just let it break down. Maybe that was all part of a plan, cause you know what neighborhoods those buildings are in. That doesn't help anything. We digging deep on that one. Oh yeah, why they just let it? You think it was part of Detroit, Michigan, the town they would try to fix it up, but they just literally left it there to rot. Why? Zeppelin. Oh. This is anime? Oh, what the? Hell, she just throw? That was not no damn birds. What the hell was that? I refuse to believe that was birds at the end. That was in Italy, right? I've seen like pictures of that. Was it really just like, was it really full size before and something happened to it that caused it to crack? What the heck? Blowing our reality wide open, man. Was that an edit? We're gonna have to check into that one. Because I know that's in Italy, right? That's If not, I'm mistaken, that's the Coliseum? If I'm not mistaken. It's been a minute since I checked that out, but if that's true, that's mind blowing. Tap in with us, you're gonna learn. It is. Whoa! What the hell happened to Squidward? Dark Origins revealed? The hell? Basically like Fear of Body of Water. I think I'm gonna carry that one. You guys know what happened with those fires, man. How they can spread, they can literally change everything. I remember, like, and those especially keep happening in California. I remember it kept going viral. Like California, like it kept happening over and over again. People, and they actually thought that like how somebody was like actually starting because it kept happening like too frequently. And wonder why California, that dark energy over there, you know, is in California. That's like the movie industry, LA, and stuff like that. So we don't know why the hell that was happening over there. Something to think about.
Meet moving part 2.
Frog legs? Throw it away.
Death Meat Moving Part 6.
Hell is that? Now, if y'all still eat the meat after we just seen these videos, man, we know the meat right now going around is fake. That's just proof. We just seen it now, 4K, and people still eat meat. I don't say how people can eat octopus and stuff like that. That just ain't for me. But now that I definitely see that, I ain't definitely ain't trying it. Ooh. Fair squids. People in those suits, we heard those stories about the Teletubbies now. I wonder what they went through. We don't do bugs. I said that in the previous video. I don't do bugs. What the type of parasite is that, man? They evolve in front of my eyes. That's down in the ocean. Oh yeah, place to go. OG memories. Toys R Us. Remember about Toys R Us, man. Those are some fond memories. Then like Toys R Us, man, it like declared for bankruptcy like how many times? But it keeps going away, it keeps coming back. But I think Toys R Us is something that should stay. Every kid should experience that. I remember going to Toys R Us as a kid, looking around like, damn, all these damn toys just for me. And Blockbuster. Actually, I don't remember. I remember seeing Blockbuster a couple of times, but those are some fond memories of places, man. We gotta keep some of them, man. Just, around for the old, just for the memories. We know, like, everything's changing, but it's good. Just, just to keep those places around, just for memories. Seekers, YouTubers, supporters, man. That's it for this video for you guys today. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video today, man. I greatly appreciate the support. So, guys, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, hit that post notification bell, man. Like I said, I'm greatly appreciating the support you guys are showing in these videos. Like I said, let's continue to grow. Let's continue to get bigger and better. Tell me down below, man. I'm always open to any and all forms of criticisms, just to make the channel better. I'm trying to, you guys, like I said, I'm still on this journey together with you guys, man. We're learning and growing and evolving together. So that's what I love about YouTube. Guys, gonna catch you in the next videos. I'm out. Peace, YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing all right, man. If you guys are brand new to the channel, you guys don't know what we do. We break down scary and creepy videos, man, on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG reels, Facebooks, anything weird, usual, and unexplained you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank you guys, man, who's been subscribing to the channel, hitting that post notification bell, hitting that like button, man. You guys are growing our community together. I really appreciate that, man. That's what we do best. Let's seek the truth.
This 16-year-old was sentenced to 50 years in prison, and you won't believe what he did. In 2022, Noah Nay shot a 5-year-old girl in the neck and shoulder in Oklahoma. This teen, who I swear looks like a 9-year-old, was riding in a stolen car and purposely shot inside a home where the little girl was playing. But again, this was no accident. No one did this for a gang initiation. Luckily, the little girl survived, but had the bullet hit a spot an inch away, she would have definitely died. Noah was arrested, but not long after, he escaped the juvenile detention center by jumping a fence. He was found 4 days later, but when he was put back into the detention center, he repeatedly assaulted staff. Noah was sentenced as an adult, but the judge said that in 2028, his sentence can be reduced if he's proved that he's changed.
Imagine getting stood up for a day and it causes you to become a key part of a murder trial. It was 2012 in Kentucky, and Shayna Hoopers was 21 years old. She had just graduated from the University of Kentucky and was dating 29-year-old Ryan Poston. Ryan was an attorney, and the pair was said to be very toxic. They'd been together for about a year and a half, but were very on and off. On the night of October the 12th, things would end for good. Those close to Ryan knew he wasn't happy. He tried ending things with Shayna multiple times, but she refused to accept this. She would turn up to his house, refuse to leave, and they would end up getting back together. On the 12th of October, the pair were having food at Ryan's parents' house, and they would end up in another argument. Ryan decided to end things once and for all, and to prove to Shayna that he was over her, he decided to go on a date with another woman the next night. The woman was the stunning Audrey Bolt, who was the current Miss Ohio. Audrey and Ryan had arranged to go to a bar the night after at 9:30 p.m. Audrey was really looking forward to it and was very confused when he never showed up. Meanwhile, Shayna had turned up to Ryan's house again without warning. After another massive argument, she took one of his guns and shot him 6 times. She then decided to call police to confess. Now, while she was being interviewed by police, she was acting incredibly bizarre. She twirled around the room and sang, "I did it, yeah, I killed him." She also sang Amazing Grace. Shayna tried to claim that she acted in self-defense, but she was found guilty of murder and sentenced to 40 years in prison. Audrey had to testify in the murder trial. However, in August 2016, Shayna was actually granted a new trial. This was because it was revealed that one of the original jurors was actually a felon. She was again found guilty, though, in her retrial and was sentenced to life.
The baby-faced...
Man, that's just a sign. If you guys ain't in a toxic relationship, man, just try to end it all, because it can turn into something even worse, man.
Gangster that shot a little girl in the neck has been jailed for 50 years after a court heard that he knows the difference between right and wrong, but has no amenability to treatment. Noah Nay was sentenced as an adult for the 2022 shooting that saw the teen drive a stolen car and fire a gun towards the house in which the little girl was playing, hitting her in the neck and shoulder. It has been reported that his actions were part of the requirements for a gang initiation.
An American couple married for 75 years. They had one wish in common, a wish that shocked everyone. Jeanette, 96, and Alexander, 95. They started dating at the age of 8, were officially married in 1940, and live in San Diego, Calif. They have 5 sons and daughters and 16 grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Some time ago, Alexander suffered an accidental fall that fractured his hip, and he was confined to his bed at home. He used a special bed. It was placed next to his wife Janet's bed. Soon after, Alexander lost interest in life and became weak. On this day, June 29th, Alexander lay in Janet's arms. The daughter informed her mother that her father had died. Janet said sadly, with tears in her eyes, "This is your wish, to pass away in my arms. I love you. Wait for me. Soon we will meet again." Surprisingly, what's on the calendar for June 29th, 75 years ago today? It was the day they were married. The next morning, their daughter found out. Her mother had also passed away peacefully. It turned out that their common wish was to pass away happily together in an embrace. Follow me. Get more true stories every day.
That is like a story that we can leave without coincidence, man. Like, that was their one true wish, and it happened like just a day after each other, man. They were together that long. That's how they wanted to go out. That's really bizarre.
Here's every character I think that's going to be in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. If you remember at the end of the movie, Abby ends up asking Mike, "Hey, when are we going to go back to see my friends? I want to see them." And Mike says, "You never know what's going to happen." Now, in my opinion, this movie's going to be based at least 5 to 15 years in the future. Now, hear me out. If we're following the plans of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 as a game, we have to go into the withered characters, because they've been untouched, unmaintenanced, and unloved for so long. We're going to be seeing withered characters in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Maybe not 15 years in the future, I may have dragged it a bit, maybe 3 to 5 years in the future. And as you guys know, all of the withered characters are a little bit more devious. And why are they more devious? Because these kids have been left alone for so long. They loved Abby, they loved hanging out with her. Yes, they wanted to kill her, but still. Withered Freddy, withered Chica, look at Bonnie, she doesn't have a face. Withered Foxy, Golden Freddy. Also think we're going to be seeing the puppet as well, aka Mike's little brother. So hear me out, I'm going to be the first one to say it. When we get a Five Nights at Freddy's 2, we are going to get withered characters. It's going to be based at least 3 to 5 years in the future. Just look at withered Bonnie. Imagine Abby pulls up, getting ready to see her friends, and all of a sudden sees Bonnie. My other theory is that they are going to be pissed. They've been left alone for way too long and miss their friend. And that is what's going to drive this next movie to be absolutely insane. Like and follow for more.
Yep, this nightmare is real, and planes are literally flipping over when passengers get up from their seats. A flight attendant for JetBlue had to issue an emergency announcement, making everyone realize their worst nightmares had come true on the plane, with one woman leaving a grim and dark message saying she wasn't sure if she'd ever see her grandkids again. The flight attendant asked all passengers to spread out as their weight was believed to be causing the plane to flip over, telling everyone to move to the middle of the plane.
Very slowly, little by little, move towards the middle of the apron because apparently everything is like it tips out.
With a tech expert saying this was so terrifying, he described it as the plane was about to do a backflip.
It felt like the plane was about to do a backflip.
Which begs the question of how safe are these planes to begin with. Many of the passengers had rushed to the rear of the plane when deplaning, which caused this, but there's still many questions which JetBlue does not have the answers for. While no one was injured, we don't know if this is something that can happen to all planes or if it's rare.
See how this fake thug reacted to a life sentence. In 2015, Jaleel Smith Riley was arrested for his involvement in a 2013 robbery that left Aaron Martin with a bullet in his head and Portia Brooks dead. Smith Riley pled guilty to the crime and was hoping to avoid a life without parole sentence. Prior to being sentenced, he cried and begged for leniency.
Consequences, man. The fake thug, bro.
His grandfather also spoke on his behalf.
He always come by to check on me and his grandmother. He always did. He worked in the church with us all.
When the judge spoke, Riley Smith didn't like what he heard.
For defendant serve a term of life without parole. As to count 4, the offense of attempted murder.
Check it out.
This heartless thug will die in prison.
Hey man, you have to deal with the consequences. If you wanna be about that life, you gotta know what comes with it.
One of the most disgusting shock videos on the internet explained. I'm explaining this off memory and other people's comments. There is no way I watch this video again because it's that gross. The video is 1 minute long, and as it starts, you hear a piano track over the video and you see 2 girls making out. But at around 10 seconds in, it gets absolutely sickening. One of the girls gets a glass cup and defecates in it, filling it all the way to the top. A jump cut then occurs and it shows the 2 women licking the feces in the cup like it's ice cream. It cuts again and it shows one of the girls rubbing the feces around her mouth. And the video then cuts again. And it shows the two girls making out with feces in their mouth and all over their faces. The next scene, one of the girls sticks her fingers down her throat trying to make herself vomit into the glass as the other girl licks it. The next scene, it shows one of the girls standing up and the other one is on her knees. The one standing up then pukes directly onto the face of the girl on her knees. The final scene shows both girls completely covered in feces as it's even overflowing their mouths. And this is where the video finally concludes. This video is absolutely sickening, and when I tell you not to watch it, don't watch it. I know I say that for all the videos I cover, but this one isn't brutal or gory. It's just plain out disgusting, and you really just don't want to see it. You can watch reactions on YouTube of people watching this for the first time. Joe Rogan even has his reaction video up from years ago.
Hey guys, do you remember Adam Johnson, the hockey player who suffered the fatal cut to his neck in a hockey game on October the 28th? Well, the player whose skate caused the injury has actually been arrested and charged with manslaughter. This is Matt Petgrave, probably not saying that right, but he is the player whose skate caused the injury to Johnson's neck. And news out today is saying that he has been arrested and charged with the manslaughter of Adam Johnson. Now, initially, I was kind of shocked at this news. All of the footage that I saw, I did not think that it was intentional. But then, when you go back and you watch the replay in slow motion, that kind of changes things. Apparently, the hockey world and all of the hockey fans have been waiting on this to come. I'm going to add a clip in here that shows when the injury occurred during that hockey game, and you'll watch it through in regular time first, and then it will be played in slow motion, and I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are. You can see it happens quickly there, but watch it in slow motion where Petgrave is in the red, he comes across and intentionally kicks that leg up, which slashes Johnson's neck and results in his death.
Here's how all of the missing children from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie passed away and became the animatronics. Well, as you guys know, little backstory, these kids ended up going to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. They all ended up disappearing in, I'm pretty sure, 1984, all because of William Afton. Wanted to run some experiments and see if he was able to combine children's souls with these animatronics. And let's just say he did his damn thing. Up first is Freddy. It is said that Freddy's original character was unalived by hiding, which kind of makes sense because you never really see Freddy doing any wild shit. I mean, you see him, but he's always kind of just like lurking or pretending to be still. Then have Foxy, said to be the soul of one of the kids that was running, hence the reason Foxy is always so fast and always running. We also have to take into the account the kid in the orange, who has Foxy's hook, and literally starts sprinting as soon as Mike gets too close. Then have Chica, who's said to have the embodiment of one of the kids that was screaming. Seems as though you always see Chica when she jump scares people in the games is she's screaming, which kind of makes sense. Then have Bonnie, who's said to be after one of the kids that fought back. He obviously didn't win. That shows why Bonnie's always so brawling. Then you have Golden Freddy, who's said to be the souls of 2 children, which is supposed to be someone named Cassidy, but in the movie it's Mike's little brother. That's the theory. Like and follow for more.
Oh no.
Those theories are crazy.
No. I thought that I had seen everything when it came to cults, but you are not prepared for what this cult believes. So HBO just released this documentary about the Love Is One cult, which was run by this woman, Amy Carlson, who calls herself Mother God. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but she believed she was controlled by the spirit of Robin Williams, and this like yassified version of Saint Germain. Also, I cover a lot of dark stuff on this page, so you should follow along. She also said she could channel and get advice from this like galactic federation of dead celebrities. There's like Mr. Rogers, Carrie Fisher, Steve Irwin, and randomly Donald Trump, who is not dead. But Robin Williams is at the top, and so the cult believes they're getting a lot of advice through Robin Williams, so they'll say things like, so one of the beliefs that this cult has is that one day Robin Williams is going to arrive in a spaceship to take Mother God away so that she can spiritually ascend. He also told her that she can only be 103 pounds to get on the spaceship, which is why she's trying to lose a lot of weight. Eventually, Mother God starts getting sicker and sicker, and also bluer and bluer because of the colloidal silver supplements they won't stop giving her, and everyone thinks, oh my god, Robin Williams must be coming on a spaceship really soon to help Mother ascend. Eventually, she passes away, and guess what? Shockingly, Robin Williams does not descend in an intergalactic spaceship to come collect the 103-pound body of Mother God. And so the cult members just have her body. They don't know what to do with it. They thought Robin Williams was going to come. So they hang out with it for 12 days until the police finally show up. Anyways, this whole thing is a trip. You just gotta watch it to believe it. I'm seeing photos.
Should we check that out, Seekers, man? People who be getting caught up in those groups, man, they be into some weird things. But to say that they thought Bobby Wills was gonna come down in a spaceship, that's just one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard watching these videos together with you guys. Be careful, man, of those groups.
Show a 13-year-old boy. Police say he murdered his mother, and before that, he's standing over her in a vulnerable position as he's getting ready to her to death. Derek Rosa snapped a selfie after the crime, his hands smeared with blood.
No, I'm not her. I just have a little bit of blood on my hand.
I need to know if your mom is breathing.
She's dead, miss.
Okay, and what did you do then?
Blood all over the floor.
Where is your sister? Your sister's still there?
She's sleeping.
She's sleeping, okay.
Excuse me, miss, what do I do if she wakes up?
If you wake up, just let me know. I need to know. Do you think we can help your mom?
Miss, she's dead. I took pictures and I told my friends about it. Was that bad?
You told who about it?
My friends.
Who did you send the pictures to?
My friend. I don't know his real name because he is an online friend, so I play with a lot.
Cell phone video shows the moment a teenage boy surrendered with his hands up.
His demeanor, he was very quiet, apologetic, very respectful. Not what you would expect walking into that home and seeing that crime scene.
The 13-year-old, identified as Derek Rosa, is currently in secure detention. When officers arrived to Unit 201 inside the Amelia Oaks apartment complex, they found the victim in her bedroom with multiple wounds, just inches from her newborn baby girl.
Next to her was a crib. And inside of that crib, a 14-day-old baby that fortunately was not injured.
Places that will disappear in your lifetime. Venice, Italy is a beautiful place, but it will disappear in your lifetime. Venice is slowly sinking.
What?
The canals cause many floods, and these floods are causing Venice to tilt east. Experts say that by 2100 the city will be uninhabitable. The Great Wall of China is amazing, but it will soon be gone. 1/3 of the wall has already been destroyed. This is mainly due to natural damage, for example climate change, but people walking on it and local settlements stealing bricks from it has also damaged the wall badly. Experts say that within decades the wall may be gone. San Francisco is an amazing city. It's known for earthquakes, but in 2016 geologists found something scary. They found 2 earthquake fault lines underneath the San Francisco Bay. This could destroy San Francisco, and there's a 75% chance this could happen before 2086. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia is one of the most amazing things in the world, but it won't be around for much longer. It's already decreased more than 50% of its original size, and lots of the vibrant coloured corals are now turning white. Some believe the Great Barrier Reef may disappear by 2030.
Damn, that's just in a couple of years. What the hell? All these places, man, that's about to disappear. I gotta see them before they go, man. The Great Wall, Venice, Italy. Hey, man, I want to travel. What the hell? I'm gonna have to put that on my list.
This is one of the worst true crime cases I ever covered, and this is a massive trigger warning. In 2007, the boy on the right named Gabriel Kuhn, who was 12 years old, was killed by Daniel Petrie, who was 16, and on the left. Daniel Petrie and Gabriel Kuhn became good friends and began playing an online role-playing game called Tibia. At one point of the game, Gabriel asked Daniel for 20,000 virtual cash to clear the stage. Gabriel borrowed money from Daniel to use in the game and then refused to pay him back. Gabriel then blocked Daniel on everything, and this made him furious, and he went to Gabriel's house to pay him a visit. A couple of days before the murder, Daniel called the home phone of Gabriel, and his mom answered. She explained that she would be out of town and that her son would be home alone if they wanted to play, completely unaware of the boys falling out. And on August 23rd, 2007, Daniel went to Gabriel's house and knocked on the door. Nobody answered, and Daniel kept knocking, but eventually Gabriel started speaking to Daniel through the door. Daniel told Gabriel to unlock the door and let him in, and if he apologized to him, everything would be fine. Believing this, Gabriel unlocked the door and let Daniel in. And after entering the house, Daniel locked the door behind him. Daniel then brutally assaulted Gabriel. Gabriel tried his best to defend himself, but he failed to do so. Daniel was older, bigger, and stronger. Gabriel was dripping in blood after being brutally beaten by Daniel. Daniel then laughed at the terrified Gabriel and took him to the bedroom,
where he then sexually assaulted him. Gabriel cried, but this made Daniel even more cruel. After all of this, Gabriel threatened Daniel, saying he will tell his mother everything that happened, but this only made Daniel more mad. And in a fit of rage, Daniel took a cord from a gaming console and wrapped it around Gabriel's neck and strangled him with it until he went limp. Daniel assumed Gabriel was dead, and believing this, Daniel tried to move and hide the body in the crawl space, leading to the bedrooms. However, the body was too heavy, and after realizing this, Daniel searched the house for sharp tools, and eventually he found a kitchen knife and a hacksaw. Daniel then returned to Gabriel's body, and in order to make it lighter, he took the knife and hacksaw and began cutting at the top of Daniel's leg to remove it, and as Daniel cut into Gabriel's leg, he woke up. Gabriel wasn't dead. He let out a blood-curdling scream, but Daniel restrained him, making sure to twist and turn the blade to make it even more painful. Eventually, Daniel dismembered his right leg and moved to his left. And after severing both of his legs, Gabriel passed away. His autopsy suggested he was still alive throughout the whole ordeal, and he eventually died from shock and blood loss. After Daniel finished the dismemberment, he tried to hide the body again, and he wrapped a cable and wire around Gabriel's body. But the body was still too heavy, and Daniel then fled the house. Gabriel's body was discovered by his brother, and the body was left by the hallway door and the legs and the hacksaw too. Daniel Petrie was admitted to a juvenile center in September 2007 to only 3 years. This is due to Brazil's laws of sentencing minors. And to make you realize how evil Daniel was, when the judge asked him if he had any last words of remorse, Daniel said this: "Gabriel was a coward and a thief. He burns in hell right now where I sent him. And when I die, I will find him in hell and finish my revenge." It's also worth saying that the photos of the crime and Gabriel's body had surfaced on the internet, and nobody knows how they got there. I highly recommend not to look at them due to the graphic nature of them, and they would definitely be the worst crime scene photos you will ever see. It's honestly insane how Daniel is walking free today. May Gabriel rest in peace.
This is the case of 19-year-old Alexi Treviso and how she went to the hospital complaining of back pain, but ended up getting charged with murder. Alexi Treviso was a 19-year-old senior in high school living in Artesia, New Mexico. She was on the varsity cheerleading team, and she was dating her boyfriend Devin for about 2 years. Honestly, Alexi just seemed like a typical teenage girl. Her prom was coming up soon, her graduation was around the corner, and she was already thinking about what university she was going to go to in the fall. January 26, 2023, that day was pretty much just like any other day for 19-year-old Alexi. She went to cheerleading practice that day and got home in the afternoon. She spent some time with her family and then she went to bed. However, she was woken up in the middle of the night with severe back pain. This was like not normal back pain. Like Alexi was in so much pain that her mother decided to take her to the hospital. Alexi and her mother Rosa arrived at the Artesia General Hospital in the early morning hours of January 27. Alexi checked in and told the doctors that she had really bad pain in her back, so they wanted to do a test to see if maybe she had a UTI or a kidney infection, since back pain can be a symptom of both of those things. So they're getting ready to do those tests, and then they asked Alexi, "Are you pregnant?" Which is a very common thing to ask. I mean, if you're a girl and you've gone to the doctor before, I feel like they always ask you if you're pregnant. On top of that, experiencing back pain can be a symptom of pregnancy. So the doctor asked Alexi, "Are you pregnant?" And she says no, that she's still a virgin and that she hasn't engaged in any sexual activity. So the doctor's like, okay, perfect. And they send Alexi over to go get a CAT scan done so that they can check for kidney stone. And while she's getting that test done, the doctors decide to still do a pregnancy test just in case, because you never know. So they did a urine test, and when the results came back, they were positive. Alexi was pregnant. Now, of course, pregnancy tests can sometimes be inaccurate, so the doctors wanted to check her blood just to make sure that she was actually pregnant. And while all of this is going on, Alexi tells the doctors that she needs to go to the bathroom. Like, she has to go number 2, and it's coming out, like, right now. So she gets up from the hospital bed, and she literally runs to the bathroom holding her butt because she feels like it's going to come out. She locks herself inside the bathroom, and she's in there for quite some time. Doctors and the staff at the hospital are getting kind of worried because she's been in there for a while, and they know that she's pregnant. So they're thinking maybe she's having some type of miscarriage or something else is happening. They knock on the door, but Alexi refuses to come out. At one point, her mother Rosa also goes over to knock on the door, but Alexi says that she's just having trouble going number 2 and that she'll be out shortly. At this point, Alexi has been in the bathroom for more than like 20 minutes. So the doctors tell her, if you don't open the door right now, we're going to unlock it. Before the doctor can unlock the door, Alexi just opens up and starts walking back to her room. One of the doctors looks inside the bathroom just to see, what happened, and they do see that there was all over the floor. They asked Alexi what's going on, and she said that she simply got her period. Call over the cleaning lady to come clean up the bathroom, and when she starts to take out the trash, notices that the trash bag feels heavier than usual. So Leela, the housekeeper, goes to look inside the garbage bin, and when she pulls out a bag, she finds a baby. The baby was inside a clear plastic bag at the bottom of the bin. Okay, more in part 2.
Never wake up a sleepwalker.
Do you want me to wake him up?
They're laughing. This ain't funny though.
This girl was freaking out when her sister got out of bed and started sleepwalking.
Stop staring at me like that. Alexis! Mom! Mom!
It's like a spirit takes them over.
She's just standing here staring at me. Just relax. Okay. I'm going down. Sienna.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Follow for more. Crazy sleepwalking stories. What the hell? Okay, man. You got proof, man. I'm not to wake up and damn sleepwalk. YouTube, you guys, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker seeking the truth. I really appreciate that, man. Like I said, guys, make sure you guys subscribe. Hit that like button, man. Hit that post notifications, man. Also, tell me down below, man, if you guys enjoy the changes to the channel, man. Like I said, I'm coming back on the talking, letting the videos play through, man. I fixed the audio for you guys, man. Some more changes are coming to the channel. I just want to grow this, grow our channel to be the best it possibly can be. It's May, man. Haven't missed a day of uploading. Like I said, maybe in May you might see me do double uploads on the day. I don't know if I should do that yet. I don't want to overflood you guys, but if you guys down for it, tell me down below, man. I can do some double uploads for you guys. I'm out. Peace, seekers.